Hey there! Good morning and welcome to my home. I'm Terry Moose Butler and this is the working from home edition of Moos'n Around the Kitchen. Today we're going to make one of my mom's favorite meals, or one of my favorite meals that my mom used to make for me, a Swiss steak. What I like about this meal is it's easy. You can do it in a crock pot, so you also get to enjoy all the smells that you're going to smell all day long while you're working from home or while you're distance learning like I am with my children today. And that's kind of the fun thing, is I'll have my children help me with some of the preparation of the meal today. And I'm just excited to bring this one to you, as it is, again, something my mom used to make all the time and one of my favorite meals. So it's quick, it's simple, inexpensive, and it can also provide you maybe 1 or 2 meals throughout the week. Maybe a third, depending on how much steak you're going to use. All right, let's get cooking. All right, here's our ingredients for tonight's meal. We have a stack of chuck steak. You can go with just a nice, tough steak here for this meal because it's going to be in a crock pot all day. Some potatoes that we'll cook later. Minced garlic, a couple cans of cream of mushroom, and then we'll use only 1 packet of the soup mix today. So this is the first episode that I have my children involved, so bear with me as we work through some of the finer things with this meal. So homeschooling or distance learning, this is how it is nowadays, at least for a little while. So we will work through this. But I do love my boys very much, and so this will be definitely an interesting and new challenge. But so today we're just going to get all of this stuff. It's going to be the steak. We're going to tenderize the steak. We're also going to have some goofy children with me. We're going to tenderize the steak. We're going to put the cream of mushroom and the onion soup and the garlic into the crock pot. But I'll just show you real briefly here with my boys' help how we're going to tenderize that steak. All right, so I have my 2 wonderful boys here. This one's Carter. This one's Cole. And before we start touching the meat, because we're going to have to tenderize the meat, the first thing we have to do is, what do you think we have to do before we touch the meat, boys?
Wash our hands.
Wash our hands. So we're going to wash our hands and then we'll start tenderizing this meat. Now we're going to tenderize the steaks, which is the fun part, I suppose, for the boys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just take one of these slices of meat. Now to tenderize the steak, you just really stab it a lot. This is super easy.
This is gonna be fun.
So now I'm going to have Carter. Carter, you go ahead. You got your special fork there, your special rainbow fork. Go ahead and yep, just stab it like I am, like this. You can put one hand on it.
I don't want it like to do like this.
Well, Cole, don't put your hand. Carter, you got to put your hand down.
Like this?
Yep, and then just start stabbing.
Oh, this goes a lot deeper now. Okay.
Yep.
Can you get the spot where I was holding? There, not one side.
All right, Coley. How about you come up? We'll let Coley have a turn.
Okay. How would you special rainbow?
Grab any steak you want, and then just start poking it like that. And you want to go all the way through to the bottom.
I did that twice. It feels dry, but it feels.
Yep.
It's fun at the same time.
I know it's fun.
It's fun. Dad, where's that thing again? I can't see it.
What's that, bud?
Where's that thing again? I can't see it.
Well, it's because the camera's turned down to watch us see how we're tenderizing the steak.
No, why can't I see the thing that you said we had to look at?
Oh yeah, that is not on while we're doing this. You just gotta memorize where it is.
Oh, I didn't memorize.
Did I do a good job?
All right, so
Did I do a good job?
you did do a good job, thank you.
Did I do a good
And I
job?
just touched your hair. All right, so now we're going to finish tenderizing the steaks, and then once I have the steaks tenderized, we're going to go ahead and put the ingredients into our crock pot, and I'll have the boys help me with that part. So we'll be back in just a second.
I went.
Now that the meat is tenderized, we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the ingredients into the crock pot. Hey boys, here, let me help you, bud.
It's not opening. It's all good.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and get that poured into the crock pot.
Like this?
Yep, and if you need a spoon, grab a spoon to spoon it out.
Oh. Yeah.
Alright, let's get you a spoon so you can scoop it out of there.
I got a spoon right here.
Okay, here you go, Carter.
I want the rainbow spoon.
Nope. Here, go ahead and scooch up.
I'm trying to pour this in yet.
Yep. And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
put 2 cans of water from the soup cans.
I wanted to do that.
Alright, I'll give you a can and you can put some water in.
I'm trying to open the onion pack.
Alright, here you go, bud. Go ahead and pour that water in.
Now
Alright.
I put this in, right?
Yep.
You.
You might have to, there you go, get it all in there.
Whoa.
Alright, you goofball.
Here
Then
you
we're
go.
just gonna stir this all up.
Here you go, Dad. Here's your thing. It smells delicious.
Alright, and then
Here you go, Dad. Use this thing.
let's also, how many scoops of garlic do you think we should use?
I don't know.
Like 4.
Alright, 4 it is, says Carter.
I think 3.
Alright, Cole says 3, Carter says 4.
I think.
So let's do 3.5 and we'll be right down the middle.
Yep. It does.
All right.
The garlic doesn't make the smell a lot better.
Well, wait till it starts cooking and then you really
Well, I
start
thought
smelling
4
it.
because each of us could have 1 cup of it.
I tell you what this reminds
So
me
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Fried rice.
So one of us. So you get 2 gallons. You and Cole get 1 gallon.
Alright, so what does it remind you of, Coley?
It kind of reminds me of smelling chicken fried rice.
Oh,
It
okay.
reminds me of smelling like something that
Like
we
the
made
soy-
before
like-
our mom
Like
has.
the soy sauce and the meat.
Like,
Alright,
makes me
So
smell
now-
like that mom sort of made something like this. But
alright boys. So
Smells
now what
safe.
we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this put into the crock pot. We're going to put it on the low heat for 4 hours, and then I'm going to go ahead and we'll throw the steaks right in now, and then this will just all cook together. Once that is ready, we're looking at about 4 to 6 hours. We'll do 4 hours on medium, and then we'll do 2 hours on high. Once we're at the 6 hour point, we'll go ahead and we'll get the potatoes ready for mashed potatoes. All right, and then we will also do some broccoli along with this. All right, thank you for helping, boys. I appreciate it. I love you. Now with everything tenderized, one last thing I want to do, I have the boys in the living room right now for a little bit, just taking a little break for playtime from school. So we have these steaks all tenderized here. So one thing you can do if you like is you can absolutely put flour on them. The flour will help thicken up your gravy, which essentially is the soup and the onion mix. But I'm going to go ahead and just get some of the seasonings on here. And we're going to do one of my favorites, which is the Mrs. Dash right here. And then no need to add salt to this because the soup and the onion mix are already pretty salty. And if you want, you can always add salt on the back end after you're done cooking everything. So just go ahead and get these flipped over. And I absolutely love pepper. I don't know if there's too much garlic that I can use and too much pepper that I can use. I can just use that all day long on everything. Heck, I'll put it in my cereal. All right. I won't put it in my cereal. But we're going to go ahead and throw these steaks then into our crock pot. The setting is low. I said medium earlier in the video. It is set to low. We'll do low for 4 hours and then high for 2 hours, and then everything should be done. Then we'll go ahead and get the potatoes cooked and the broccoli, and we'll have a good dinner. The boys have completed their homework, and we had a nice little hike today out in the snow, and now they're enjoying a little bit of screen time. So having said that, we're going to move on to the mashed potatoes. Nothing super special about it, but this is how I make my mashed potatoes. I've already seasoned it with some of the garlic seasoning, the black pepper, and the salt. We're just going to get these mashed up. These are Yukon Golds. These are my favorite for mashed potatoes. The skins blend in really nice with the mashed potato. So we get started here a little bit. Now what we're going to do is do about a half stick of butter. Just you hop right in there. And then I do like to use the whole milk when making my mashed potatoes. You can put in garlic cloves into this, or minced garlic, I should say, if you like. And another option to kind of make it a little bit different is you get to this point, you can throw in some shredded cheese if you like. It's always a good option. We'll just put just a little bit of milk in there and get these puppies all mashed up. But I don't think there's anything better, in my opinion, than Yukon Gold for your mashed potatoes. And then you just get it to the consistency you want. Do you want a little bit chunkier? Do you want it nice and smooth and creamy? It's really up to yourself. The broccoli is already done, so the steak is done. So just in a few moments here, I'll get this all plated up and we'll wrap up our dinner for the evening. That's going to wrap it up for tonight's meal. And I just want to thank my helpers, Cole and Carter, help me prepare this meal. So we're going to go ahead and give this a little taste. This steak is it's unbelievably tender. So it's really good. Mmm.
Really good, guys. It's really good.
That is so good.
It is so good.
All right. What I'd like you to do if you like this video, please click on subscribe. Hey, be nice now. Please click subscribe, like, leave a comment. I'd love to hear any of your suggestions about how you think about this meal, anything that I can do to improve it, maybe make it a little bit more natural instead of using the canned foods. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Also, please share this video with your friends if you enjoy this recipe. I really hope you liked enjoying this, and just keep in mind, you know, with everyone staying at home and having something that's simple to prepare, this is actually a really good meal for that, because you can just throw it in your crock pot and then you have meals for maybe 2 or 3 days depending on how much steak you use. But using the chuck steak, it's definitely a much cheaper steak, so you can get a little more portion out of how much food you're making. But I want to thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you have an incredible rest of your week, and an incredible weekend, and happy cooking.